I didn't just look at spelling. I looked at punctuation, grammar, confusions of words, and I found in 3 particular pieces of work that I monitored closely for genetics and for English that the overseas students averaged 18 errors, different kinds of errors, whereas the home students averaged 52, which is 3 times the number of errors. And quite a lot of these errors affected the sense. It affected the science. So they weren't trivial errors.
What would you put it down to?
The students in Great Britain not getting enough specific, explicit teaching of spelling, grammar and punctuation, not being motivated to take it seriously, and not being consistently corrected if they're ever corrected. One student said that I was the first lecturer who'd ever corrected her English, and she was actually grateful.
Do we have a problem, Jan Bogle, do you think? Sounds like we do.
There is a problem, but first of all, the Spelling Society's aim is to raise awareness of the problems caused by the highly irregular spelling system. We're not saying what that will be, but to raise awareness of it. And This is an example that Dr. Lamb has come up with.
And it sounds as though we have a problem. I'm assuming you would agree with that.
I profoundly agree. What I would like you to consider is that overseas students come to English in its written form and naturally have a slight advantage in spelling and punctuation, whereas English students come to English in the spoken form before they then have to wrestle with the written form. And this is where the start of the problem occurs.
But one imagines they've got years to get it right, Bernard Lamb, having gone all through school. This ought to be being drilled into them.
Yes, someone should be better at their native language than a language that they have learned as a second language.
Well, they are better in their spoken language. The overseas student is at a disadvantage in the spoken, and everything starts at an early stage. So
do you think it doesn't matter as much as we might presume?
Well, like Dr. Lamb, Dr. Ken Smith came up with a number of quite ordinary words like February, ignore, truly, cue, opportunity, 12th, and misspelt, and he had the same problem. Was he there to correct the spelling of his students, or was he there to teach criminology?
What do you think the answer is, that we change the spelling?
My answer as the chairman, you don't want me to lose my role, do you, is to raise awareness of the problems caused by the highly irregular spelling system.
I let you get away with that the first time round, which means what?
Well,
let's raise awareness, and then what do we do about it now that we've raised awareness?
Are you aware of it? Are your listeners aware of it? Because there is a profound problem. 23% of children come out of schools technically illiterate.
Of course, we can't join. So we're in a particular.
They can't join. They can speak English very well, but they can't write it.
But there are different solutions. One is to turn spelling phonetic. The other is to teach children how to use the spelling as it is now.
They've been doing that since 1950, and there's been no change in the number of functionally illiterate children emerging from schools. If you've got a car with square wheels, don't look at the upholstery or the driver or the manufacturer. Look at the wheels.
Bernard Lamb.
Yes, I'm really worried about the word confusions that the students make. I mean, some write about elevating the symptoms of a disease when they mean alleviating. They confuse impotence with importance, effect with affect, which seriously changes the meaning.
Is that a problem with spelling, or just with them being stupid?
It's word choice. It's tied up with spelling as well. But infected, affected, confer, infer, that's not really a spelling mistake. It's getting the wrong words, not understanding what words mean, and not having been corrected if they've made these mistakes in the past.